Nope. They're purple and like the fucking aliens, some shit, like decided they're gonna Earth, and then they came to Earth and moved all the people to a certain place on Earth, and I don't know, it's kind of interested, but I guess it fell asleep.
Happens. It happens.
But yeah, bro. You know, I don't know how you feel about this new update. I'm gonna put some chill shit in the background.
Oh, the music update. I can't really. Oh, see, with you, I expect that there's going to be some background music anyway.
I'm mad about it though, you know, because you know I'm gonna use their background music they gave us just because of, you know, it's cool. Right. But shit. All right, so here's the real question of the day: is do I, while talking to you, run, get as much money as I can? It's like, but like, you know, whatever is. I heard you say you better put another 6G up in the joint.
Yep.
So that means you're going for it.
Well, I mean, I'm selling 10 shares of Tesla. And AMC is at, well, it closed at 47.91, but in the post market, it went down to like 43. And wait, where did you, oh, you were listening to me and Leonard talk earlier?
No, I was listening to your Walking with
Maggie. Oh, my TikTok message, got it. Yeah, so I jumped on with Leonard for like another 2 hours. That's why I was exhausted and needed food, because I walked for like 5 hours, because Leonard's really good at making me talk and me forgetting how long I've been talking for.
Or what does Millie say?
Leonard the guy. So yeah, so I'm gonna I had 127 shares. I already sold 10. I'm gonna sell another 10 just because. Yeah, I mean, if I had more money to do it, I would. But at AMC, I feel like this squeeze it's not going to go longer than the 29th. I'm based on what they're saying, it should pop off by the 18th. So hey, if I can double that money and stick it back.
If you can, in better words for me, because like if I was to tell my lady, like, yeah, until the 18th, that's when the squeeze is gonna be. She's like, oh, I'm like, yeah.
So everyone is, yeah, no, that's cool, that's good. So everyone is thinking like everything I see right now, it's like, oh, tomorrow's gonna be the good day. It's like, you don't know. Like even when it first took off, I was doing JVO and Silk show on Wednesday, and like during the show, it was like every 2 minutes it would go up another 4 or 5 points. So the reason why the 18th is so significant is there's 2 reasons. Number one, and I have to double check this again now because someone had told me that it got moved to the 29th, but AMC they're doing a reconciliation of their stock. All right, so I'm gonna do this math for you before. If not, I'll do it again. It's not that hard to understand.
I don't think so.
Okay. So basically now there was 450 million. Let me pull it up on my screen here. There was 450 million outstanding shares of AMC. It's a little higher now because they just issued more shares.
I think you did, but no, do it again though. I feel like I kind of remember this, unless. Well, I feel like we haven't done a show in a while. So
we haven't. Well, I mean, I've been talking about this all over the place.
Maybe I heard you then. Okay, keep going though. Let's do this.
All right.
I want to hear this again.
So 450 million outstanding shares. I'm on E-Trade right now, but this definitely has not been updated. But anyway, so the math is, all right, so that's how many outstanding shares, that's how many shares were issued by AMC to raise money, right? That's what just to start from the very beginning, that's how companies make money up first. They offer shares for the company, people buy the shares, and then you are now a partial owner of the company, and then you trade the shares with other people. You know, if I say, okay, I'm gonna sell at 40, somebody else is buying at 40, all right? So that's, but the initial offering is where the company makes money. They don't make any more money by the stock going up or down in the trading market. Remember, the company is different. How you evaluate the company is different than what's happening in the stock market. Stock market doesn't really mean anything to the company. In most cases, there's certain, well, we'll talk about one in a minute. But anyway, so there was 450 million shares. Now, Aaron Adams, who's the CEO of AMC, he basically, they had an earnings call, and he came out and said it, and he can't really lie during the earnings call. Like, that's like, you go to jail for that. Yeah. So he said 80% of the stock is owned by retail investors, me and you and Joe over there with his Robinhood account, right?
80%?
That's what he said. So I even cut that down, right? I cut it down to 70%, right? So even if you do it at 70%, I was like, all right, I don't have the numbers in front of me because when I did this math, I got rid of it. I said it so many times, but new goddamn thing. I can't even find my calculator on my damn new
Take
laptop.
Your time, yo, new
There it
computer.
is.
Everybody that's in here, man, this is not going to be, you know, an exciting screaming event where Matty Wash annihilates one of my friends. So he's actually here to he's actually here to help. So if Cotton Candy Man shows up, maybe he'll be changed. I definitely think you've made an enemy for life because I know him. He's not gonna like you, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not here for that. We're here for some Fomo, which is no fear of missing out. Me and Matty talk money when we're not embarrassing people. So but yeah. So take your time, find your calculator. I'm rolling a nice jigger. This is gonna help me digest that steak I just ate, which I cooked a little bit too long. Damn it. So yeah, and anybody who is this, I see some woman that's trying to come in here. I don't know if she's one of your followers.
Not me.
Diva Sky, peace to you, but there's probably not gonna be anybody up on the stage but me and Matty. We're not really dependent on having a lot of people on the panel, and we'd much rather like you to leave a message and be sure to follow Matty and follow myself as well. But as far as like the whole 5 people panel, it's probably not gonna be one of their shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna be talking most of it. So, but if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
You didn't say what you just said, Ken. I'm stoned.
I was on DuckDuckGo and they said AMC ain't gonna do crap. Yeah, okay. So anyway, 70% of that outstanding. So even if you went from 80 down to 70%, it comes out to 315 million shares, right? That's owned by me, you, and the retail investors. Then it's an institutional ownership. Now this is since changed a little bit as the numbers I'm looking at, but when I was looking at it, it said 25% was held by institutions. So institutions like hedge funds. And
hold on a second. I just heard what you said though. Did you say about Duck? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. You're an asshole.
That was the most delayed reaction to a joke I've made I've ever had. I actually got a whole.
I was like, yo, that's mad funny what he just did, yo.
All right. So institutional ownership was at 25%, right? So that's 112, right? So 112, and then what I said the other was 315 plus 315. I'm doing the math on my screen while I'm talking to you here.
New screen, is, courtesy of Apple.
Yeah, it's 427 shares, right? So that means that there's 23 million shares left. Right after institution and retail, right? So then there's something called restricted shares. All right, so restricted shares are shares that are owned by like the CEO and the board of directors and that kind of the insiders. So insider shares can't be really traded because they have inside information. Yeah, so they only trade they have to like set up timelines like I'm going to sell this many shares in 4 months from now or something like that. Like so.
Right, they can't just be added like regular folks.
Right, because they know what the company. I mean, they could literally just tank the short the shares and tank the company if they wanted to, you know. So to make it fair, so I looked at the restricted shares, and there was 28 million restricted shares. So right now we're already at the problem. There's only 23 million shares left, and there's 28 million restricted shares. So that's 5 million shares that don't exist. And that's if we did 70%, right? Not 80%. If it was 80%, there's another 50 million shares, right? So now on top of all that, there's 93 million shares shorted. So they have a short interest of 93 million shares, which is basically 1/3. No, 1/4. Let me see, 93 million, 93 divided by 450. That's 20%. So it's 20% of shares on top of that. So now we're at 98 million shares that don't exist. So the problem is that, so this is what's pushing the short squeeze. So this is why they're going after AMC, because it says that, so anyway, so here's the point. They're doing on the 18th, they're doing a reconciliation of the stock. Like they're going to straighten this whole thing out. Now, when these companies short, there's something called naked shorts. You'll see if you watch anything on YouTube, there's this big thing because CNN, there was, or no, CNBC had a whatchamacallit, a commentator who said, oh yeah, the naked shorts. And then she looked like, you know, she was about to get shot right there in the right there on camera, because her face was like, whoa, I definitely said something wrong. Because naked shorts, so basically what a naked short is that like the brokerage, so basically when a short happens, you go to the brokerage and you say, look, I want to sell 10 shares of AMC, and they say fine, and they are supposed to go get those shares and then give them to you to sell. But what a naked short is, basically they said, oh yeah, we're gonna give you sell those 10 shares, but they don't actually have the shares. Like they don't go get them from anywhere. So there's ways to get around that. They say like, oh, we have the ability to get the shares, like they can do that kind of stuff. So the problem though is when this reconciliation happens, there's 100 million more shares that are actually exist. So these brokerages are going to get screwed. So what they do is they're not going to get screwed. They're going to go to those hedge funds, those shorts, and be like, you got to buy back in right now, or we're just going to take the money some other way. We're going to, like, you have to buy back in before this happens. And because they've sold these shares that the brokerage said they could sell, but they got to buy back in. They're waiting for it to go down. So they got to get in. They got to come back in. So they're doing a bunch of market manipulation to try to push the share price down so they can get in at the cheapest price possible, because they're already lost a bunch of money even at like $43. Remember, I mean, AMC last week was $18, $10.
Yeah.
So they're already 3 times lost. So they're trying to do whatever they can to recoup that loss and make that loss. So what they want people to do is they want you to give up. They want to say, okay, the short's over. This is how they do it. They're going to be on to their buy articles. They're going to lose billions of dollars. So it's like, we'll spend $10 million and just get the Motley Fool and Marketplace. We'll get some writers to write some things about how the short's over, and we'll buy some CNBC time and have these analysts say that, oh, it's done, it's over. And it's not. It hasn't even begun yet. So
interesting. So it's like a little like, but that's something that. So, but here's the thing: like, is this in particular to like this AMC situation? Like, you know, like, because this is not like something people should be getting used to happening, right? It's not like every Monday or every other week. I mean, is it? That's what I want to know. Like,
yes.
If is it something that you can kind of like do studying and homework on and realize like, oh, I should put some bread into this joint on, you know what I mean? Like, is it that way, or is it just a special situation because AMC?
Well, there's a reason why I came out with that video last Monday and said buy AMC today, because I figured this out. I guess it's like, this is just math. It's just figuring it out. Now, when it happens, so this is the thing, is people This is why I'm telling people not to, like, I didn't know it was going to happen. It was I knew this squeeze was going to happen. I know it's going to happen. And as soon as they said there's going to be a reconciliation of shares, I'm like, okay, it's got to happen soon. I don't know what day particularly, but it's got to happen.
So that's the key word in the reconciliation of shares. If you see that Sony is getting ready to have a reconciliation of shares, that's like a key phrase to be like, oh, wait, do a little bit more reading.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. I mean, these things.
Is that what I'm saying? Like, is that what you're saying? Essentially, like, that was what made you go, ooh.
Yeah, that wasn't what made me look into it. Somebody else was telling me about it. And then I was like, all right, let me look into it. And then that's how I figured it out. So it wasn't like I saw that first and then I was notified by it by one of my little sources. So so then I went and looked into it more and I was like, oh crap. So knowing that this squeeze is going to happen, it's just a matter of when. And what's going to happen is it's amazing the game that goes on. So what they're doing is they're doing all kinds of things to make people think the short squeeze has happened already. The first thing they did is because what happens is a lot of people, when they go into something like this, they put in stop losses, right? So they'll say, all right, I'm going to get in at 40. And if it goes up to 50, great, I'm gonna have a stop loss at 45. So if it goes down below 45, it's automatically gonna sell all my stuff. So I don't, that's what a stop loss is, right? Oh, something happened.
Oh wait, what happened?
I don't know. The whole our topic and everything kind of went away.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I switched something in the so everyone can join. Nothing changed on my screen.
Oh. All right. Well, it just happened for me.
Let me leave and come right back. Hold on. Oh wait, no, it's there.
All right. Well, it's just not there for me. So my screen. Oh no, my mouth is moving, but whatever. Doesn't matter. So here's the thing. So what they did. So when people have stop losses, they have stop losses with the brokerages. And what people don't understand, one of the reasons I'm moving all my stuff from Robinhood over to public, is a place like Robinhood. Robinhood doesn't work like they portray like they're there for you, for the retail investor, where no commissions and whatnot. But what Robinhood does is the way they make their money is it's called cash for orders, or cash for order flow. I forget the terminology.
It is. You don't like how they're taking it from you.
Right, because what they'll do is, let's say the stock is at $40, they'll sell it to you for 41, and then that's their margin.
I know what you're talking about. They call it. I think I've seen it before. I don't know. You probably know better than me.
Yeah.
I don't like Robinhood for crypto even because of something that happened to me. So I did I bought my AMC on Cash App. But
yeah,
you know, I might, if I was about, I only bought a little bit. So if I was about a chunk like you're talking, I might probably public.
Yeah, I'm using E-Trade. But yeah, so so Robinhood, so places like Robinhood, since they work for Citadel and they work for these brokerage or these hedge funds who give them money, who are buying their orders for them, so therefore they are the customer, because they're selling your orders to them. So they're not looking out for you as a retail investor, they're looking out for their customer, right? But they play it like you're the customer, but you're not. How can you be the customer? You're not paying them any money. So they got to be getting money from somewhere. So that's where they get it. So the point being is, though, so what these hedge funds can then see is they can see where the majority of stop losses are, right? And so what they can do is they're still playing with it. So
whoa, what?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So so they're able, because of their contracts or whatever, because they do business with Robinhood, that they can say, okay, well now let's just look at how the majority of the people are using it.
Yeah. Why not? So their customer.
Manipulation?
Yes, of course it is. So that's the point. So they could literally say, okay, look, we got a lot of people who are stop lost at this number. So what we're going to do is we're going to short the stock down to that number. It's going to trigger stop losses. So then more people are going to automatically sell, and it drives the price down even more, right? So so this is the game that they're playing. So this is why it's still fluctuating up and down, because they're still I mean, the amount of money that they're standing to lose is tons, and they still got time. So that's why when people are saying like, oh, tomorrow, Monday is going to be the day, I'm like, well, don't think that. You don't know if that's going to be the day. And the more, and what happens is if you get people pumped up that it's going to happen on this particular day and it doesn't happen on that day, then those people are going to get dejected and they're going to sell out. So I'm telling people like how do you know? How do you know tomorrow? Just because it's the next day? Because you want it to happen tomorrow? It doesn't happen when you want it to happen. It's going to happen when it happens. So so don't get all wrapped up in the date and the time of when it's going to happen. Just get your position and then let it happen when it happens. But we know it's going to happen at some point. Go ahead.
And there's no chance in your mind. Yeah. So you said you know it's going to happen. So there's no chance in your mind that it's not going to happen.
No, I mean,
this is going to happen. There's going to be a reconciliation, all that good stuff.
Yeah. And what they're doing with this manipulation, they're doing a bunch of things. So because like you could short it right now. And here's a big thing that just happened this weekend. So normally when you go to short a stock, what the brokerage does is they say, okay, we're going to charge you interest every day that you hold this short, because you're basically taking a loan from them. You're borrowing these, you're selling these things, these stocks, and it's a small amount of interest, but every day that goes by, it gets higher and higher. And then the further down you are, so, and then also when you short, they'll say you need to have this much money in your account, right, to short this stock at 10% more, to cover the interest in case whatever collateral, let's just say. But this weekend, a number of banks, I think 3 of them, one was Bank of America, said we are not allowing you to short AMC unless you have 3 times as much money available of the amount that you want to short. 300% you have to have. So if you want to short $10, you got to have $30 in your account. And so what that does is it limits their ability to manipulate the market through shorting more. So that's, if they can't drop the price through shorting, because that's what they're doing through the shorting just means they're selling shares that they don't own yet. And so while this is fluctuating up and down, they're trying to drop it as many times as they can by shorting and taking new short positions, like new ones. And then what happens is when they drop it, so let's say they had a short position when it was at $10, right? So now they're screwed on, like, because it's at 40. So like, okay, forget that one. Now we're going to take a new short position at 40. We'll drive it down to 30, and then we'll sell the 30, right? So they still have their original one, but they're buying more of them and they're driving the price down. And then people go, oh, look, some of the shorts are covering. But they're covering the ones they just made, not the long-term ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it does and it doesn't, because it was a little bit much. I mean, it does make sense, but like I'm trying to slow it down in my mind. Like further, it feels like shit is illegal. Like, wait, they can do this? Like,
well,
I don't know why I'm feeling that way.
The synthetic shares are not legal at all. And the naked shorts and synthetic shares are not legal. So what happens is the brokerage are not supposed to do this. So they did it, but they're going to get caught with their hand in the cookie jar. So what they're doing is they're saying all these people who borrowed these fake shares, you need to put them back. You need to buy them back now because they're not real. But the thing is, the price has gone so high, these people, they don't want to buy them back because it's at $40 and they shorted it at 10.
Yeah, they lose.
Right. So they're trying to get it down. They're trying to cover these losses. And when you're talking about a big company or a hedge fund, I mean, it's not like they're shorting, 10,000 shares, 5,000 shares. They're shorting like 1 million shares, So that's what they're doing. So that's how they move the stock around. So their inability. So what they're doing. So again, just think, if you're a company, you shorted at 10, right? Now it shot up to 40, and you're like, crap, I've lost 4 times my money, right? But if I short some more, I could bring it down to like I'll take out another short and bring it down to 30. So now I'm going to make back my money for taking it from 40 to 30, but I still have my original short. So since they're doing that second short, they're covering that short. They're saying, okay, it went from 40 to 30. Let me cover. I'll buy back in. But then it shows up that people are covering their shorts, right? But it's not the original shorts. It's not the original ones from $10. It's these secondary ones that are getting covered. The original ones are still out there, right? And that's why they get on the news and they're like, oh, the shorts are covering, the short interest went down, but it really hasn't. It's still 21 right now. There's been shorts covering, but the short interest is still at 20%. It hasn't moved. And then when you throw in the naked shorts that don't show up in these numbers, instead of the short interest being like 20%, it's really like 50 to 60%, because there's another 20% of fake shares that are out there. So that
shares, naked shorts,
yeah,
all these things.
Naked shorts, synthetic shares, fake shares, it's all the same words, all the same meaning, different ways of saying the same thing. They're made up bullshit shares. So the brokerages are going to get, now here's the thing, if the brokerages, if this is happening in a bunch of different companies, like a Workhorse, you'll see a bunch of the meme stocks all jumped, because this is what the Wall Street Bets is doing. They're going around and they're looking for shorted companies that are over shorted like this, so have synthetic shares or naked shorts.
Right.
That's the ones that they're attacking, that they're trying to build up and just go from one to the other, depending on how bad it is.
New thing. This is like a new thing, isn't it? Like a new type of like
Yeah.
collection on the internet.
Well, yeah, and do you know Otis?
For people to like accept to like to form like this and be like, yo, we're on Reddit or whatever, because like I damn sure, as much as I followed crypto, because it was a quote unquote new thing to me and it was undeniable.
Right.
With this AMC shit, certain words like meme stock reminds me of a meme coin, So I'm like, all right, I followed that, and I'm just like thinking like, all right, is this? Because there's always been hashtags, there's always been the internet and the Twitters and the Reddits and shit like that, but is it like all of a sudden now everybody's just better at connecting with the hashtags or something like that? Because it definitely seems like it's a nice community of people having fun doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Learning this shit and like spreading the knowledge.
Well, if you think of like, for example, so like I just checked a little while ago, like GameStop is still at $241 a share. So these people on like Wall Street Bets and stuff, like they are serious. Like there's no reason for GameStop to be at $240 a share. Like there's no reason at all. It's still there. And that whole thing happened in January, because these people, they're just buying and they're just holding it as long as like they're just keep holding it, because what happens is the more people hold it, especially with this AMC thing, the more people that buy up the shares and hold it, then those 93 million shares can't get back in, because you need to buy it from someone. So because they're trying to reconciliate it, they're trying to make the numbers work. So they got to buy back in, and they got to give them real shares to buy back in on. But if no one's selling, they can't get back in. So the price goes up, and it keeps going up and going up until people finally say, okay, look, it's $1,000 a share. I'll sell.
What do you, I mean, this is probably a whack question, but
no, good.
Like, what do we think it's going to get to then in that case? Because that's, like, to me, I just don't, everything is in foreign language. It's all new. It's fun. It's nice to see you put your money in something that goes up like that. It's nice even with crypto when it's down, because I'm like, all right, I can buy some for the cheap, is what people say. And I'm trusting that process, because I've already chucked that money in my head to be like some money that I'm not going to have to, I got to go back and get it. Like that. It's money that was there to be invested. And hopefully I did the right thing, because, it's out there. But with this, I don't know, AMC thing, I liked it because it was like, damn, I would have put more. You know, like, I was like, I trusted you. I was like, yeah, whatever. That's good. And I could have put more. I don't know why I act like that. I kind of like that. Would you play poker?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that with poker too, man. Like, I gotta get a little bit more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand what it is. Like, I'm a little bit scared money don't make money. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways.
Well, that's the so the thing with I've had people sending me messages all week. Silk said he's gonna get me a steak dinner. Because he went and spent 4,500 on that day. But look, I'm not all in either. I'm not YOLO. It's not like I would say, hey, I'm selling all my Tesla stock and I'm like selling 10 shares. You know, so it's this is what I was telling Leonard earlier. I was like, it's like when you break up with a girl, like you can't be looking back and be like, oh man, she's fine now, where she's doing so much better. Like, you just got to break it and leave. That's it. Don't look back. Don't look at the old pictures. Get rid of the memories. It just, you can't do it. So with the stock, is the same thing.
The only problem with that analogy.
Go ahead.
The only problem with that analogy is that you are going to take her back though when that money is right. Oh, we're looking real good now, yo.
Yeah, well, if she wants you back at that point, though, that's the problem. Sometimes you can't get back there. So,
so one thing also, when you said something about Robinhood, I want to mention and ask you if it has anything to do with what that was. Might be two different things, but like when I try to cash out on Robinhood,
right?
They're trying to be like, no, especially with crypto, because crypto bounces so much.
Yeah.
Like the amount that I would try to cash out would be like, nope, sorry. So I get it. That's like the delay or whatever. I forget what they called it. You told me what it was one time. Or maybe Bitcoin did. Shout out to Bitcoin Boxer. But I like Cash App because I didn't really seem to have that issue when it was time to cash out.
Yeah.
Did that shit, did it quickly. Cash App is quick, man. The money goes in and out of your account real fast. Robinhood, you have a little bit of a wait sometimes. You can sit there and put money in your account, and it'll say that they gave you money, but the money's not really there.
Right. Yes, correct. Yeah, it's a delay.
What I'm saying?
Right, because they don't have the funds.
It'll be like a week later, and then they'll be like, "Oh, your money's there."
Yeah, your money cleared.
You've been doing stuff with it. You're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
I don't like that about Robinhood.
Yeah, because they don't have the funding yet. But here's the thing with Robinhood. Here's the thing that's different this time than with GameStop. GameStop got the short squeeze got derailed because Robinhood, if you remember, Robinhood was like, you can't buy any more GameStop. You know, it was like a whole big thing where you could sell it, but you couldn't buy it. And they said they were, and that's what derailed it, because if people couldn't buy, it couldn't push up anymore. If you could only sell, I know that there was a problem, then you started selling and it pushed the price back down. And they had that going on for like, I don't know how long it went, but it derailed. Now, if you only have people selling, it's going to bring the price down. So Robinhood can't do that this time around because number one, we've seen it. And number two, they're about to go on to, they're about to go IPO. They're about to go on the stock exchange themselves. So if they do that again, like their IPO, their stock price is going to take a major hit.
We're gonna be like, oh, look what they're doing.
Right.
Bump them, ban them.
Right. Well, people are going to be like, I'm not going to invest in Robinhood anymore because every time something good happens like that, like it happens once, it's bad enough. You do it again, you're going to lose. A lot of people are going to leave Robinhood, and they don't want that to happen right before they go on the stock market. So yeah.
I like that about Cash App, where I just put my money in that joint. It does boom, bam, pow, and then like same day. And again, if I had put more, I'd been more happy. But like, you know what I'm saying? I was wondering because that was my first time cashing out on a stock like that, just to do it. And I should have did that, but like, I wanted to let my profit flip. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I hear you.
So I was like, all right, let me take out what I put in, and then see if the app will actually give it to me. You know what I'm saying? And it did. So I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh well, that's because Cash App is run by Square. I don't know if you know that. They're owned by Square.
Yes.
So Square, by the way, is another stock. I have some Square. I'm gonna buy some more of that, but it's more pricey. It's $200. But they're going after Chase because they just started offering checking accounts, and they're offering a bunch of stuff to. So I really like that. I really like Square. Square's in my portfolio, although I did sell some of it to buy some AMC. This is my
messages. We got Leonard or Leonard, the guy.
Leonard. Yeah, I don't hear any messages.
You guys, looking forward to this chat. As always, Rashad and Maddie. I just had to say, I never re-listen to shows. I just finished that last show when you guys were talking about COVID and vaccines. Man, that was good. That was the best hour I spent on the Sunday. So thank you guys so much for that.
Thanks you for listening. And you can thank my man Cotton Candy Man for that, because I didn't even want to do it. He's the inspiration for that. The unvaccinated, he's not show that Maddie was destroying him on. He texted me too. He's like, I know you think your friend got me, but like other people were seeing my point. I was like, bro, you embarrassed yourself, dude. That's how you want to go. He knows that's how I talk too. So welcome Cotton Candy Man to Stereo Streets. He'll probably do it again.
Yeah, my thing is just so you know, my thing is locked. It shows two people trying to get a co-host and one message, and that's it. I don't see anything else.
Really?
So I don't know how many messages there are or what's going on.
No, we only have one more message. I think this guy's trolling.
Melvin.
So I heard for business-wise, in the future, the countries with the most water source are generally gonna have the biggest impact for the economics. I know a lot of people talk about what their country can do, or the people that are smart, but let's be honest, when you have water and clean water and a lot of water resource environment around you, especially if you're in that country, man, it's a big deal.
Yes, water's important.
I'm a water sign.
Yeah, I don't know how to reset my thing here. This is really annoying.
You just use your app to however you close programs.
Right.
Just swipe it up like you were done with this shit and open it up, but it'll still be.
All right, hold on 1 second. Oh yeah, it worked. There you go. Look at that, learning stuff.
Yeah, it works. Sometimes if it ever glitches like that, that's
Got it. So I wanted to say, yeah, so this AMC thing, I'm really so you asked about price projection. So like I said, I'm putting $6,000 in it, but I'm not like going to people. It's not something I can really teach right now, but there's a certain way to enter a position and to exit a position. You don't just dump it all in. You don't go, okay, I got 10. That's like when people ask me, I got 10 grand, what should I invest in? I was like, I don't freaking know. How am I supposed to tell you what you should invest in? I don't know your risk tolerance. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what you're trying to do. So, but like the 6,000, like what I have a cost. I have in one. Hold on, let me pull it up. In one of my accounts. Oh, I didn't even know I had more purchasing power in here. Nice.
Don't you dare clean, woman. Be right back.
So I have 67 shares in one account with a cost average of $41. And that's because I bought, let's see, I bought 20 at 29, then I bought again at 5 at 38, I bought 10 at 52, I bought 10 at 51, I bought 15 at 44, and 7 at 44. So, and 1, 2, now was over the last 5 days. So you want to stagger how you get in there, right? Like you don't want to just take it and dump it all in there. And it's the same thing when you get out. Is you don't want to just be like, all right, let me just sell all of it. Like you want to set your price. Like my price, I'm setting my price at 120. At 120, I'm going to start. I'm going to take out my initial investment,
When the stock is worth that much?
Yeah.
You think it'll get that high?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think 120 is
Reasonable.
conservative.
Conservative.
Yes. Because again, these 93 million shares have to get back in there somehow. And I know again, GameStop is still at 241. It's January. That was from January. It's June now. It's still up at 241. It was all the way up at, I mean, at one point during the squeeze, it was up to 400 and something dollars. And if that Robinhood thing didn't stall it out. And then this time it's different because GameStop was just a straight squeeze. There was no, it has to be in by a certain date. You know? And I don't know, I got to read into it more if the date was because somebody told me it was moved to the 29th. But
I'm going outside so my joint cuts out for a second.
No problem. So whether it happens on the 18th or the 29th, whatever, by the end of June, I'm expecting a minimum of, so 120, just basically, the reason I pick 120 is because that's going to, that I'll start exiting is because that triples my investment because my price paid on both of them is $38 and $41. So, but I don't want to get totally out because it could keep going. I mean, I think conservatively could hit 400 to 500. I mean, not conservative, that's my expectation. And there's no, there's definitely, I've seen enough math and enough people talking about this that if the numbers are correct and people hold, it could get, to the 2,000 range per share.
Oh shit! Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing people saying, "No, are they bugging? Are they just over optimistic?"
No, it's. So what happens is when the shorts happen, okay? Because remember, a short sale is just a reverse of a normal thing, right? So normally we buy shares, and the more people who are trying to buy the shares, the price goes up, right? Because a lot of people are trying to buy it. So, but this is reverse. When you're shorting, they've already sold the shares and pushed the price down already. So now what happens is when some of the shorts try to cover, and again, we're not talking about like covering 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares. We're talking 93 million shares. I mean, this is a lot. It's a lot at 40, 50 bucks a pop, right? So, so what happens is when one tries to cover, let's say it's 100,000 shares at $50 a pop, that is now, what is that, 5 million bucks of shares. So that's going to push the price, let's say, from 50 to 55, maybe even 58. And now another short is like, all right, we got a short now. We got, because as it pushes up, also the interest gets higher and higher. Remember, these guys can't wait forever. So the higher it goes, the more interest that they have to pay on it. So that's why they have to cover. And every day they got to pay that interest. So the higher it keeps going, that's why they're trying to get it down as soon as possible. And also a lot of these hedges, what they're doing is they're playing the other side of the coin too, is they are buying call options. So that way when it goes up, because they know the squeeze is coming, so they're trying to hedge their bet by betting the other side as well. And AMC had the most call options, I think, in the history of one day that came in for June 18th. I think there was like 241 call options for the 18th of June. It's like ridiculous. So so they know what's going on. Like this is going to happen. And it's just a matter of, there's like people on the internet who are like doing math and they're like, yeah, it could go to $100,000 a share. I'm like, well, yeah, if every single person, because again, remember the retail investors have 70 to 80% of all the shares. So if we buy all the shares and no one sells, it'll just keep going up because they got to come in. But there's no way in hell people are going to be holding these to 100,000. Like that's what Wall Street Bets is like. They're like, just hold, just don't cares about it, just keep holding. So, but that's not going to be a majority of people. So Good.
If a brother isn't able to get it in tomorrow, it should be safe Tuesday. You just don't know, right? It could go up tomorrow, it might not. It could go super low tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, because remember this, the hedges, they're gonna do whatever they possibly can to drive that price down. They're gonna tell people that it's over, hasn't happened, it's already happened, the cover's gone, you know, the price goes down. So that's why I was saying I'm gonna stagger, like I'm not just gonna take $6,000 and just buy right away. Like I know it's gonna fluctuate. That's why there's all this volatility, right? Because they play with it. They try to make it go up, they make it go down. It's really just to get the weak hands out, to get people to say, look, I bought in at 30, it went up to 70, now it's down to 40. I don't want to lose, so let me sell. That's what they're playing on, the FOMO, right?
The weak hands out, man. I love it, man. I'm not trying to be weak hands. I got diamond hands, right? Okay. It's like, I don't know, diamond hands already heard. I said I sold them, just flipping my profits. So that's definitely not the definition of diamond.
But just hold the line. So
I'll put some more in there and stagger, like you said. Too.
Yeah, so if I see it, like I'm just trying to push down my average. If I can get something in the 40s, I'll know in the pre-market what's going to happen for the early morning. But I think the hedges will try to dip it once or twice more. And then what happens is, like, you got to understand there's such a game going on, because after GameStop happened, these people aren't stupid. They've got people in Wall Street Bets who just signed up and are watching and floating out things, you know. It's like they're doing all that stuff too.
They're manipulating it as well.
Yeah. So it's you know, it's a game, and when people say, oh, I know what's going to happen, like I said, I don't know what day it's going to happen. I hope the longer it strings out, though, the better it is, because again, every day that goes by,
Be the beginning of the week. You rather be on some Thursday, Friday shit.
right? Well, because every day that goes by, they're losing more money because they're holding on to these shares that are worth 4 or 5 times more than what they had. So yeah, so that's the main thing. So I'm just, like I said, I'm gonna buy dips. I'm probably gonna buy anything. I'll buy probably like 10 at a time, and anything under 45, every time it hits under 45, I'll probably buy.
All right, so let's talk about this idea that you did, because I know you have a lot more than me, but I don't even think it matters about that.
Right.
I go into my public app. I mean, I got Tesla. So now, of course, I'm not going to sell all of it, but currently, Tesla, I'm down. I'm pretty sure. Oh, Tesla's green today.
Yeah, Tesla went from like 575 up to 600.
Okay. But when I look at like how I've been doing with it all around, I just like have lost a little bit, right? So, but it's not significant, but it's negative, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if public and other brokerage, like that's what we're calling these apps, right? Brokerages, or what we call exchanges.
Brokerages, yeah.
Brokerage, same thing. I'm wondering if it'll work so fast, like if tomorrow, if I wanted to, I could sell some of my Tesla, even though I'm at a little bit of a loss, which you're not recommending people to do, but like it's not significant where it's like,
oh no,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what you should do, by the way. So like my Tesla, okay, so like I have shares of Tesla where pre-split, like I got in at $55, right? And now it's at 600. I'm not selling those, right? So the ones I sold, I'm gonna sell are the ones that I'm taking a loss on. So like I got here.
How do you differentiate that though? Let me see something. How do I sell? I only bought in twice though, so I see.
Right.
Wait, I think.
Yeah, you can. It should be something like view tax lots or something like that.
I see though. Okay.
So what happens is if you don't pick the particular shares that you want to sell, most brokerages will just do first in, first out. So if I just said, oh, I just want to sell, if I just put in a sell order for 10, it's going to sell mine from 2018. And what's going to end up happening then is I'm going to have a massive profit on those shares, right? And then I'm going to have to pay taxes on them. So what I'm doing is, so with AMC, I'm not planning on holding that for more than a year. So it's not a long-term investment, right?
Right.
So I know it's going to be under a year. So I know it's going to be a part of my, I'm going to have to pay income taxes on it. So what I want to do is I want to hedge those gains with the losses of selling of the, so like I already sold, like I had some Tesla at 700 that I bought a couple months ago. I got 2 shares here at 642. So those are the ones I'm going to sell, the ones that I'm going to make a loss on, because I want the losses so it can offset the gains of my AMC that I know I'm also going to sell. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So you don't want to sell, but people are like, oh, I want to sell and I'm going to make the most profit I possibly can. Well, no, that's not the really what you want to do. You want to keep those in there and sell the ones that you have a loss on, so you can have some loss, and then you can offset your gains with those losses.
Oh man, thank you for that. Yeah, all right. I mean, listen, man. Anybody out there, if y'all don't know, No Fomo with me and W.I.S.E. He's the guy that I'm listening to. I thought it would be beneficial for somebody to make themselves vulnerable, like I will out here, and just go, oh, don't wait, what? I'm definitely the student, and he's teaching me right now, but he's not necessarily a financial advisor. If you don't get that part, I don't know how many times we have to say that shit.
Yep.
If we have to say that shit.
It's the comedy show, and everything I say, do your own, allegedly, and do your own research before making any financial decisions. This is strictly what I'm doing and what Rashad might do.
That was funny how homie came back and said, "Hey, listen to the other show."
Oh, I told Leonard that Leonard likes to see me lose it, so so I sent it to him.
Well, if it means anything to you, that was probably one of his first ever brawls on here, and I never had talked to Jersey Worthy either, so that was an interesting scenario. I brought that brother on the app, and now he's liking it, so I'm expecting to see him on more.
Gotcha.
I haven't told him I'm talking to you, and if he wanted to, I might have a little bit of time if he wanted to get on these streets with me, but to the FOMO part of things, the chemistry we got going on here, y'all. I just met W.I.S.E on these streets. He used to give me a hard time, talking about I was never going to do a show with him and all this shit. I was like, bro, it's coming, man. Like, I'm trying to figure this shit out. He'd be like, bro, I know I don't have a check mark.
Wait a second. Don't play it like that was the only reason. It was because
fake. I feel like
we had a show, and then you canceled on me, and then you were on the show with Miss Smitty the next day, and we're like, this is the first show I've ever canceled on someone. I was like, great, I'm glad I'm the first one.
Shit.
So
good memory, man. See, I didn't remember that part.
Well, of course you didn't. Selective memory.
Shut up, Miss Smitty. Shut up.
Look, yeah, I know. Maddie, like, see, he's so patient. And like, I get the other, like, I get the spicy side of Matt sometimes, but it's just nice when he actually comes out of his like shell and creates efficiencies for some people. It's enjoyable.
It's kind of people's fault. It's my fault too, though, because I put you in this box. I put you in this financial talking box in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I've seen you be on the app doing other stuff, but like I said before, not just you, other people as well. I don't do that much listening. I kind of like skim through and maybe get ready to do a show. So I might have missed your other shit. And you know what I mean? Like to hear you do something else was like, whoa, oh shit. It's like, of course you know more than that. Of course you know more than fucking stock. But you were going in with a little bit of like, I know this, you know, energy too. So like, okay. I see this guy, Maddie, and I didn't know where you were going to be, honestly. You know that?
Right.
I didn't know what side of the fence you were on because we just getting to know each other on this shit.
Yeah.
So
I'm usually on the side of science.
You could have been You said you're usually on the side of what?
Of science. Science and math are usually one side that I fall on. So
I hear that.
if you want to, you can see me do a debate about evolution in a church. I got a YouTube video of that. That was 3 hours of fun.
Without going into it really quickly, I know that it's debate worthy, juicy worthy shit. I'm an evolution guy, but then that makes people who are super duper religious get upset, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I believe in some too.
That's how I ended up in there. Well, that's how I ended up at the church, because I was arguing with someone on Facebook, and he was like, "Why don't you come down and talk to my pastor in church?" And blah blah blah. I was like, "I'll go anywhere you want. Let's go and talk." And I had a woman break down, start crying. It was crazy.
Ever since a kid, I've always never. I mean, maybe it's a good take or not, but like, ever since a young man, when I noticed that was something that people got worked up about, I just said, "Why can't you believe in both?"
Right.
Like, why can't you understand that man has evolved, and then through that evolution, created religion?
Well, because that doesn't match up with what the book says. These people thought the world was 6,000 years old, and all that kind of jazz. So
I'm not religious like that, so that's probably why I asked that question. They're like, "What do you mean? How do you ask that?"
Yeah, it was
the guy one more time. Man.
Go ahead, Leonard.
Like I always say, if you ever get into like a debate with a Christian or a religious person, just start off whatever you say with, "As a Christian, and you're good."
Yeah. Well, Super High pulled that on on your boy. I knew he was doing that, so I started laughing. He's like, "Well, as a Christian, I believe that this and that, whatever it was that they were talking
about." My man was like, "You're a Christian?"
Yeah, that's the Leonard the guy, Super High man. They're trolling tactics. Have you had someone come in and play your messages yet?
Oh fucking A! I just dropped my check.
Oh jeez.
Play my messages.
Yeah, so this is a thing I experienced. Like, so these people will go into your show and they'll wait, and they'll pretend like everything's cool and copacetic. And if you got a bunch of messages, they just start playing them like one after another, and then everyone's like, "Oh."
I've done it to somebody, but I've never had it happen to me.
Like, oh, who knows what's going on? What's happening? And they'll empty out the messages and then leave. So don't get any there's only 3 people in this show, so don't get any ideas. That's why I play my messages fast.
If anybody was worried, I relocated to Jay. I'm safe. I don't know who this person is. Personer.
The Personer? Yeah, Personer. Yeah. Personer's cool.
Okay.
Oh, that's not fair. Why are you guys picking on people that claim to be Christian? You don't know if they're really Christian or not. You should probably have a conversation with a true Christian.
Yes. Yeah, I actually had a talk. He's Personer does a show called Ask a Christian. And I had a conversation with him once, which was actually a very productive and good conversation. So and he left the app for a while and he came back. But all right, so I'm gonna throw out some of my other stock picks. They're the same. They're always the same. I'm still telling people to buy Humble. Humble's $1.54 right now. I got about 1,300 shares of it. I want to buy more. See, that's the thing with this AMC thing. If this thing blows up, let's say it goes up to even $150, right, a share, and then a bunch of people sell out and sell their shares. A lot of people are going to take that money and put it back in the stock market and all these other stocks. So I think the stock market's going to have it's been down for since maybe February. So I think there's a recovery coming. So get these stocks while they're cheap because it's starting to bounce back. So Humble is an amazing app. You can download it. You can check it out. Look at it yourself. I'm not going to go into much detail about it, but it's I see that stock being in the mid 20s in less than 2 years, which is a 20x on your money. So buy some while it's cheap. And then FUV, as I always talk about, Arcimoto. I have 3, 6, 8, 11, 12. I got 13. I know I got 2 in my other account. I got 13 options on those, all between $10. It's a $10 stock right now. I think it's at, what is it at exactly? $11.27. And all my options are at $10, $12.50, and $15, and they're all for October and December. So I'm gonna make that hits, and I'm gonna make a ton of money on that. But FUV, I think at the end of this quarter, they're starting to produce vehicles. The vehicles are amazing. Everyone who gets in them raves about them. It's called the Fun Utility Vehicle. That's why it's FUV.
Fun utility.
Yeah, but they have their name of the company is Arcimoto. But if you look them up, like they have so many different. It's basically 3-wheeled electric vehicles. And
oh shit! Okay, yeah, I am with that.
Yeah, and they've got a big sponsor in Wahlburger. They had whatchamacallit, what's the guy's name? I can't think of his name. From Marky Mark. It's Mark Wahlberg. There you go. Wahlberg. I got his first name and last name. But come on. Get some cinder blocks. Get some curls. He'll never let that down ever. He can do a million movies. I've done so many movies I love his, and I always remember him as Marky Mark.
Yeah, that's Marky Mark.
So, but they're making a car called the Deliverator. It's all basically the same kind of car. So they have a Deliverator where the regular FUV is a 2-seater, but in a Deliverator, the second seat is going to be like a hot or cold thing. So it's all for it. So they actually there's pictures out of them of their cars with dominoes that are all done for Domino's. So they haven't said that they have a deal with Domino's, but people will be out there looking. And they saw a Domino's one. So so if they're delivering, because it's electric, it saves money, they can park it easily, and it's just you zip around real quick, deliver your stuff, and if you can get hot and cold in there, instead of having a big van or a car or something like that, it's great. And then they have another one for EMTs and police, so they can get through traffic. It's only 3-wheel. It's almost like a motorcycle, but not as thin, but not as wide as a car. So, so they got a lot of great products that are coming out. They just got hammered. Their short interest is 30%. So they have another one that could be short squeezed, because they were at $30 a share earlier this year. And then the shorts, all these companies, all these hedge funds that go in and just try to destroy companies by shorting them. It's horrible, but that's what they do.
Fucking shady asses.
Well, what these companies do is they'll buy shares in the company, pump it up, right? Especially smaller companies like FUV, like people haven't heard of, right? So they'll buy a shit ton of shares, they bring it up to like $20, $30, right? And then what they do is, because they own so many shares and it's a smaller company, they'll then short the company, and then they'll also sell all their shares. So it doubly pushes down the price, because they're selling all their shares, and then they're shorting and they're selling even more, and then they're making money off the short, and they're making money off their profit by driving it up, and then they drive it down into the ground. This is how they manipulate the market.
It's crazy.
So
I'm not crazy, but I'm just learning it, so it's like, okay.
Yeah. So FUV I think is going to make. I'm hoping Wall Street Bets finds them, but I definitely think they're a good company. They're just, stock price just got hammered because short interest got them, and they're a small company. Those are the only 3. Those are the big 3. A bunch of other stuff going on, but I'm just focused on AMC right now. But excuse me, Humble and FUV are definitely ones that are
I don't
cheap.
think I got any of the Humble. I got the app. I remember that we've been doing the show. I don't think I bought any Humble, so I'm gonna go ahead and check that out tomorrow.
Yeah, I would. I just pulled down how many times I bought Humble.
So when you say something like something is going to be, you expect, right? Again,
Mm-hmm.
he's not a financial advisor. He's my buddy that I like talking to. But I don't have any friends that kind of talk this stuff. So that's why I think stereo is dope.
Yeah.
If you really want to, you can kind of like make connections in certain things. But like, you're saying in 2 years, I feel like you said, which is not that long, yo. I got a child. Anybody with kids out here know that fucking 2 years goes by like 2 Super Bowls. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, you can say 20 times possibly the price it's at right now. Now, when you say that, right, you said 2 years, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm outside walking around, so if it sounds crazy, hopefully not. But I
No,
think I got
it's
good
not.
service right here.
You're good.
All right. But yeah, so in 2 years, maybe 20 times sounds delicious. So I would be doing the same thing. You said, I'm going to look how many times I bought it, right? You're implying that you'd be buying the shit out of that motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, it went all the way
You
down
believe
to
in it.
like 90 cents at one point. So I was just,
Fact.
as it keeps going down. I mean, it was up at $7, but again, I'm a fundamental investor. So I'm looking at, I understand that the price of the stock does not reflect how good or bad the company is. Like GameStop is not a company that's worth $240 a share price. Okay, so that's why I wouldn't buy GameStop right now. Like I wouldn't do that just because I don't know how it works.
But in the 2 years time frame that I was going to try to ask about, you don't anticipate at all, not one bit. One, you wouldn't think this because why would you keep investing? But you don't even think at all that anything terrible could happen. Like it goes out of business.
It can something can always, like, there's no crystal ball. All you can do is continue to follow the company, research the company. What are they doing? What's going on? And that's why we've talked about this before. That's why I said you want to be a mile deep and an inch wide, and not the other way around. You don't want to be a little bit into 25 companies because you can't follow it. But like every time I see like Humble, I watch their news, I get their updates, I see what they're doing, I've listened to the investor call, I'm watching their financials, and everything's good, but the stock price is going down. So to me, that says discount, because I see what the company's doing. I'm looking at their app. I'm like, they're already in like so many countries. I actually pulled up the app and I was like, look at all these people already using the app, because it shows you on there like because you can make merch. Like basically it's going to be for people who want to make music, because like right now if you try to sell your own music, you got to try to get on Apple or whatever, and you make a small percentage. But with Humble, they're like, you can make your own NFT and just sell your music as an NFT right on Humble.
I'm interested in it alone as an artist myself, because I was just talking NFT shit with my man. Matter of fact, Cotton Candy Man.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling him how I got this podcast that I want to sell as an NFT. It was like right as I was getting ready to get into stereo. I was already on stereo, but I don't know if people knew me. I don't know if I had a check mark. I don't know where my status was, whatever. But
right.
I used to do podcasts before stereo, and I was doing via Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Just meet people on Instagram or however, Twitter, and then fucking link up some Zoom shit, whatever. But I got a crucial ass podcast that I'm like, yo, this shit needs to be heard, and you know what I mean? I know it is, right? And I'm putting a price on that motherfucker.
Right.
And I'm gonna make it an NFT. So yeah, shout out to Humble in the NFT community, because I started doing a little research in there when the buzz hit hard and everybody thinks it's dead now. They think NFT is dead, and I'm like, it's not dead. It's just that like you have to fucking really learn about it, or else you're gonna get, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, people don't even know what it is. But that's, did you see? Did we talk about the thing that I feel like we would have talked about it, but what's his name? Tom McDonald did with the M&M NFT.
I don't think so.
Oh, we didn't talk. So M&M made an NFT of he produced a beat, and he made it an NFT. And Tom, I don't know if you know Tom McDonald, the white rapper guy, the crazy looking dude.
Not really.
You see him once you'll understand. Like he's got a, he does like a lot of controversial kind of music, right? But Tom he bought the Eminem's NFT for $100,000, and then he made a song called Dear Slim, and he wrote, you know, and everywhere he put produced by Eminem. He made a ton of, he got a ton of stuff. He got a ton of like views, and everyone was checking it out because it was produced, and and he wasn't lying. It was produced by Eminem.
I gotta read about that.
Yeah, bro.
That's a mind.
Yeah, look up Tom when you get a chance. Tom McDonald, Dear Slim. So yeah, I didn't even listen to the whole. He made a video and everything. The whole deal.
I think I seen like a clip of the video or something, but oh man, I'm gonna get more hip. I need to know.
But like, just think of yeah, like yourself though as a producer. You know, you instead of people, you could put your beats out. You could be a merchant, put your beats at NFT, and if people want to use your beat, then they pay for you. Put your price. As opposed to trying to find, you could just be a merchant, or people will come in and check them out. You could just have them all there. People listen and buy the beats that they want. I'll play this message while you're doing what you're doing.
See, that sounds like the tip of the iceberg of the value of what an NFT could be, right, in the future.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Social credit valuation. I love it.
Yo, can I hear that again one time? Hold on.
See, that sounds like the tip of the iceberg of the value of what an NFT could be, right, in the future. This is amazing. Social credit valuation. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm back on Wi-Fi.
That's cool. Do you know Gary V? The kind of motivational speaker, tells you suck and just stop complaining and whining. He's got a lot of YouTube followers and stuff.
You're gonna clean it. Unbelievable, man. She's cleaning it, dude.
Oh, see.
I know who Gary V is.
Okay.
And I didn't hear what you said after that.
So I was saying Gary V.
Saw her cleaning.
Yeah.
What's up with Gary V?
So Gary V made an NFT of just some scribbles, right? Like he just took a piece of paper and made some scribbles. But the NFT, the value of it is, I think if it's like every 3 months or so, if you own the NFT, he's going to do like a bowling night or something like that, where you can go bowling with them, and then you can resell the NFT. And so the value of it will keep going up. And so the value is that you get to hang out with Gary V at bowling, but up to 3 years, you'll be able to sell it. So you could go bowling and then sell it, and somebody else would buy it, and then they could go bowling at a higher, so you're making money, and Gary V's getting paid on it the whole way around.
I like Gary V. He's a Scorpio. Throw that out there right quick.
Well, there you go. But yes, that's the Humble app. They're calling it Web3, where it's like you have your social media, you do all your money things there. You can do your crypto on there. You can buy blockchain 3, blockchain 5. And then you can also send money across the country. Like you could literally buy, like instead of going to El Salvador and buying some tchotchke for Millie J, you can do it on Humble, and it'll automatically do the conversion. You can buy stuff, and then so they can ship it from there through the app.
I got the app right here. I knew I put it on my phone. I just did not put it on my phone.
Yeah, it's just something good. I keep looking at the app. They keep building it up. The guy who owns the company, or the CEO, Gary Foot, is it Gary Foot? If that sounds wrong. It's probably because I was just saying Gary V. It's something Foot. But if you see on there, there's like, you can apply for personal loans. So you can actually take a loan off of your crypto balance and use your crypto as whatchamacallit, as collateral for a loan. Anyway, it's a lot of good stuff on it.
I didn't know it had to aspect to it too. I was like, I mean, if you have NFT, of course.
Yeah, if you
But
if you
a lot in one.
yeah, if you go to the invest in digital assets with the guy with the big fro, and you click on that, you see it says like block 3, block 5, block 10, and then if you click buy now, it'll take you, like right now it takes you off app, which is what they're working on. But it'll tell you what's in block 3. So if you hit like you, it has research there, and you can either do Bittrex, Binance, or Coinbase, Coinbase Pro at least, and then you can buy it through here. And then it tells you like block 3 is 25% Litecoin, 25% Ethereum, and 50% Bitcoin. So it's almost like buying like an EFT or a mutual fund of whatchamacallit, of crypto coins.
Oh shit. Yeah, I haven't even made my account. I just put it on here so I can't navigate through.
That's fine.
But,
Yeah, even if
my account.
you don't have to put any money in it or anything like that, they're still building it. I mean, I see new stuff on it all the time. They got a lot of blockchains in it. Jesus, look at all these. 3, 5, 10 government platform, global enterprise. What the hell is that? Real quick.
What's going on in the world of Teslas though, vehicle wise? Anything juicy or anything?
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you asked. You must think I just sit around and like research all day long. But Tesla,
I mean, I'm impressed. Yeah, right. You don't sit around and do it, but like I assume you don't just stare at pictures on Instagram.
No, only when I'm bored. No, I'm kidding. So Tesla announced what they're doing. So apparently Tesla, Elon's brother Kimbrel, was really big in I want to say not Applebee's, some restaurant chain. And so what they're doing is they're going to be making their own restaurants at their superchargers, which is good.
They're going to be doing what now?
They're making a Tesla restaurant that's going to be around at their supercharger. So when you go to the supercharger, like you're on a trip and you got to charge up, it's going to take you like 20 minutes. You can go in and eat in the Tesla restaurant.
Oh, okay. Tesla restaurant. So nothing like fine dining, but like something quick and convenient, maybe.
Well, they don't know which one they're going to do. They're going to do both though, because if you're going to be there for 20 minutes anyway, you could sit down and have a meal. Especially if you're traveling across country, you don't have to be there for 20 minutes just because your car's done. You could stay and have your whole meal.
True.
But let me see here. Restaurant services. Well, here's the point. This is a whole nother revenue stream for them. And
yeah, food.
And people are
probably make more on that shit because I don't even want to know how people cook more than that industry and make money. But I'm sure they do all over the place.
Yeah, I was talking, I don't know if you've ever spoken to Taco Truck, but he was saying that it's going to be like a restaurant, like where it's not like a restaurant, but like an automated restaurant. Like you put in the things you want, and there's like a machine that cooks everything, does it all for you. Which doesn't surprise me at all with the way Elon Musk works.
Yeah, I mean, just get all the money, Elon. Go ahead, just get it all.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, eventually it's going to get to the point where they're just making so much money that they'll have to switch over to giving dividends. And that'll be awesome if Tesla was a dividend stock. But that's not going to happen for quite some time, but that'd be nice. I mean, you can only have so much money. And what they do is they're pouring every single dollar into all these side businesses and research and all this stuff, which is I was watching a video on the injection molding that they're doing with the cars, and this mold that's going to be, the Tesla cars are going to be literally the whole body is going to be 3 pieces. It's going to be the front end, the back end, and it's going to be connected by a structural battery. So it's going to eliminate something like 1,600 operations, welding, all the different, you watch a car get made, it's like goes here and somebody does this and it goes down the line and another machine comes in.
It's gonna be like 3 Lego blocks.
Yeah, it's just going to be 3 pieces. That's it. And they showed the injection molding. Well, and then also when you have it's just 3 pieces like that, like everyone, that's what people complain about right now with Teslas. It's like the fit, the trunk there's more space on this side of the trunk than on the hood than the other side, like small stuff like that. But the reason that happens is because when you have a lot of different pieces, if one's, if there's a little error someplace, it spreads out all over the car, and that's why you get panel gaps and different things. So when you have it being just 3 pieces, it's going to be the most, so like when they have issues, they like say, okay, this is the problem. Now we're just going to be the best in the world at that.
Who do you say to one of my buddies, right? I'm gonna try to remember to send this to Josh. He's a recent Tesla owner, and I was reading the comments from people that I don't even know, because that's how Facebook works. Why I hate Facebook. But these are his people, or people that feel entitled enough to leave him messages. They kind of seem a little hateful. Doesn't seem to me. I mean, I heard people like, I guess they're rich too, or they've had Teslas too, but one person said that, man, I got rid of my Tesla. Like, you're gonna say this to a person. Imagine writing that. It's just like slice that they just got a new car, right? And somebody, I got rid of mine. Right? Like, why? So anyway, the dude said, I got rid of mine because this, that, and the third. But one thing I do remember him saying was, he said he could feel every bump on the road.
I guess.
What do you think about that? Is that something that's, I don't remember it being something like, I mean, the roads that we were on were fairly smooth when I was in my doctor. I worked with Tesla, but is that a common complaint that you feel the road?
Not that I've heard. I've heard people say they could hear the road because it's silent. Like you don't hear the engine. Like if you don't have music on or anything playing and you're just driving, you'll hear the road more. But here's the thing: is you're not gonna make everyone happy. I talked to someone too, so they were like, I like Lambos better. I was talking to Killjoy and somebody else, and they're like, I gave mine up. I went back to Lambo because this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, it's not designed to be a Lambo. Like they're not trying to be. Tesla's not trying to be Lamborghini or whatchamacallit. They're trying to be Toyota. They're trying to be the Toyota Camry and the Ford F-150. That's what they're trying to be. They're trying to make as many cars and get as many people to buy them as possible. They're not trying to be a supercar.
Speaking of such, Ford F-150 is releasing an electric EV.
Yeah, the Lightning. It's all right. I mean, it doesn't have. So the big thing about the F1, the Ford Lightning is that they have this gigantic front trunk, right? Like Teslas have the front, so they have like this really big one. But and they're selling it, and it's pretty cool actually.
We want the front. I don't know about the word. Gotta have the front.
Yeah. So the good thing about the front is that you can put your tools in there. The reason they made it bigger is you can put your tools in there and then you can lock it, because normally with the pickup truck, it's in the back, you can't really lock it. So, but the thing is they took the space from the cab and they took the space from the back end of the truck. So you don't have as much, capacity back there. So like with the Cybertruck, the Cybertruck gets better mileage, it's cheaper, and you're getting a bunch of other features. Cybertruck's better, but
this has not been released yet, though.
Oh, the Lightning?
No, the Cybertruck, right?
The Cybertruck, well, you can't buy either one yet. I mean, you could put in a reservation for both, but
No, meaning like I've never seen one. Right? This is not something that I've seen riding around a Cybertruck. It's not the SUV looking version of it.
no. This have you seen a Cybertruck? Like what it actually looks like?
No, let me look at this.
Oh, Aaron, I can't wait to hear this.
So just like Tesla Cybertruck.
Sure.
That's what my doctor said when I was like, "Hey, oh shit, yeah, this is that Terminator joint. Oh no, no, it's ugly, but it's not ugly because it's gonna look amazing." These are not out, right?
No, I mean they've got 1.5 million reservations, but they'll be coming out soon.
Shit.
But once again, the reason why it looks like that is a couple things. Number one, I don't know if you just looked it up. Did you just Google it and just look at images?
I'm on Tesla's page. I'm on Tesla's page looking at the demonstration.
Yeah. So that steel that it's made out of is it's 30 times cold rolled stainless steel, which means they when they released it, they hit it with a sledgehammer twice. There's no dents. You can't make dents in it. It doesn't rust. It's also bulletproof.
This shit was looking for another planet.
Yeah. And then there's an ATV. I don't know. I'm looking at the picture where there's an ATV that you can get with it that's electric, that you can plug it into the truck and charge your ATV. And then the ramp, like the it's not well, I forget what it's called. The cab, not the cab. The thing in the back that you put down to put things into the truck. The lift gate. That can turn into a ramp. And it's got, so like literally you could drive your ATV right up into, or wheelbarrows or whatever the heck you got to do, right up into the bed of the truck. And I'm trying to see the specs on it.
They got my full video. Shit looks like
Oh yeah. And people, and well, because of the steel, like it's not going to be painted, but people can wrap it. I was talking to someone, they're like, oh, I don't want it, everything looks the same, because they don't want to deal with paint. They just say, we don't need to deal with paint. You can wrap it wherever you want. But stats, that's what I'm looking for.
Please messages we got.
Oh, go ahead.
See, this is smart because, like, if you think about like big road trips, like you think of those gas stations, they got those truck stops, right, attached to those restaurants, right? So every place that is a supercharger, there'll be a restaurant, and they'll probably be different depending on the area, right?
They'll have a good milkshake. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've been wanting a milkshake today, and I'm lactose intolerant. Go figure that. I just want one. I want a fucking banging drink. I want like $6 milkshake situation. That shit was bad. Oh, let's see what Acoustic told.
So I've noticed that about the newer cars, they drive a lot stiffer, and that's more, unless it's like a little economy car, that's more for like performance though. Like for some reason, all these newer cars, especially the sport tune ones or the ones that are like for street racing or whatever, even the Chargers and Challengers, they drive a lot stiffer. I don't know why, but anyways, a former supervisor had a Tesla for 4 years, and his only complaint about his car was that it was stiff, but that his light bill went up. He was saying his electricity bill went up. His electricity bill went up, but it's still not as expensive as it would be to drive where he drives to if his car was gas.
Right. Yeah, your electricity bill is going to go up for sure if you're charging at home. You could charge at the superchargers, but electricity definitely costs less than gas does. But I'm looking at one of them right now.
There's apparently a lot of supercharging stations where I live.
Well, they're making more. They're putting so much into their supercharge. Like they're making. I think they're planning on making another 2,500 supercharging stations this year.
Are they solar generated?
Well, Depends on where they are, like depends on where they're putting them. If it's a Tesla owned lot kind of thing, then they're putting solar panels on it. But a lot of times these superchargers are just in parking lots of malls and stuff like that, or like shopping centers. So people can then the landlord says, yeah, sure, I'll spread the electric costs, and I can raise the rent, and then also these people are going to get more business for everyone who's stopping to charge their car in the parking lot. But you're talking the Cybertruck, the base model is $40,000. The top model is 60, so let's say $70,000.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the first one?
60 to, let's say 60 to 40. There's a single motor, a dual motor, and a tri motor. The tri motor gives you 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. And 500 miles of range, does the quarter mile in 10.8 seconds. That's crazy. That's super duper fast. And you're driving basically a tank. you're driving a thing that doesn't rust. It doesn't smack. It's got bulletproof. And that's the other thing. So the bed of the truck is going to have it has a cover that comes down, that rolls down from inside the truck, and it basically, so they call the bed of the truck the vault. So like so that way, and they've had people even standing on top of it, and they're going to put solar panels on it. So if you go out off-roading or camping, you literally can just let the truck sit out in the sun and get more energy.
Question. I would imagine that there would already be some type of solar panel regenerating effect in the car.
Yep.
You understand? Like, why? I'm kind of disappointed that maybe I don't know enough. But like, wouldn't it be sufficient, or I don't know, or like maybe it wouldn't give you enough electricity for like.
Correct. That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
There's not enough space to get enough, real good energy off the top of a car. But
if you're trying to keep the design in mind.
Yeah, you got the glass roof and whatnot. Like people already complain they don't like the way it looks. Now you gotta put solar panels on the top of it.
Well, then I'm wondering eventually with the future of solar panels, another one of the topic for like the solar panels will be like that.
Yeah.
The future of that is to look into as well, because you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I bet you we could do it better. Yeah, well, the goal, what Tesla wants people to do is to get the whole ecosystem. That's the all set stuff, right? Like get solar panels for your house, get batteries for your house, and then get a Tesla car, and then charge the car with the sun. And you can put a lot more solar panels on your house than you can, on your car. Yo, Triple Deuce, aka Raw 222. I've been meaning to get it. Yo, Raw 222. Before I play your messages, tap it up for you. Everybody in here, tap it up for Matty Wash as well. And shit, if you don't know us by now, follow Matty Wash, follow Shot Radio, follow Raw 22. Go in the freaking everybody. There's 7 people in here. Y'all can make it through something. There we go. She has nice graphics. I've really been impressed. Look, there goes a follow too.
Yeah, she's
I don't know who got followed, but somebody got followed.
She's watching the she's doing my ad. She's doing an ad for me for my solar business, actually.
Oh, is she really? Yep. She's nice with it, man. So
yeah.
When I play the messages, y'all, I guess that might have been only her clapping. I'm gonna find out who it was. We're going here and get on y'all. Who is it? Okay, Acoustic Sauce. I see you. Awesome Sauce. What's up, Awesome Sauce in the building? Look at that. Acoustic Soul followed you, Matty Watch. That's cool, man. So that's a good connection.
Thank you.
Anybody else that's in here swinging through? It's kind of like near the end of the show, but we just talking and rapping. Like me and Matty, I was kind of skeptical. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a skeptical brother, but like he seems to know what he's talking about. All right, we're like 9 episodes into it, and I'm kind of like, you know what? Yeah, I like this guy. He's good. So the AMC shit came through, man. I was like, whoa, okay. Like that shit definitely made me be like, wait a minute, wait. Let me go back and listen to these episodes and like really do the math on there's no FOMO shit with my brother right here because I don't personally, to all y'all listening, I don't have a section of friends that talk stocks and crypto, honestly. So that's why I link Bitcoin box, and that's why I link the Matty Watch, so I can have, you know what I'm saying, it's a purposeful conversation for myself and for y'all to actually, you know, benefit from too. So appreciate y'all, appreciate them. So tap it up one more time with a please.
Yo, what is up? It's your girl TCT dash raw dash TCT. What is up, Matty Wash? And hello, Rashad. What's cracking? I'm over here just working on some stuff. Doing some stereo. Yeah, I'm just talking about money, cash, stocks, testing. But okay, huge.
So yeah,
The huge, yep.
That's the huge, I guess, but not for me. Like this is the only, you know, I got two, I guess. I gotta get a backup with Bitcoin. I hope he's feeling better. He had a little bit of a health situation.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not typically known for area, y'all, to talk about these things because I'm not really talking about it. Matty is, and Bitcoin is. So I know he does it elsewhere on the app, but I'm honored to have it with me on Rashad Radio. It helps me, and then I have it in my vaults, and I go back and listen to my stuff and learn shit. So me and for all y'all out there. Now we're talking about cars.
Yeah.
Brother got me strung out on Teslas.
Well, the thing is, you know, it's good. I mean, I tell people, I tell you a couple times, like, I'm not like a millionaire or anything like that. I learned all this stuff during COVID, you know, instead of doing nothing and, you know, watching everything on Netflix. I was like, all right, I only stock I actually have. I follow this guy on YouTube. Which is he posts pretty regularly. And it's a lot of this, I get a lot of knowledge from him. His channel Solving the Money Problem, and all he buys, like he used to have 3 different stocks, now he's up to Tesla. He's just got, I think he's up to 5,200 shares of Tesla. That's all he's got, and but he don't buy nothing else. And he's like, I just talk about Tesla. He's like, I know where it's going, I know what's happening, and that's, you know, that's the kind of focus. He's like, I probably could get more views if I talked about other companies. And you have these people, you know, every month, the top 5 stocks I'm gonna, you know, that are gonna do great and blow up this. He's like, that's awesome. It's like, I don't have time to research all that stuff. I'm just this. I know what this company is doing, and this company is doing some amazing things. It's got one of the smartest people on the planet running it, who's running a space company and a tunnel digging company and started a PayPal company. And it's like, why would I not go with that guy? Why would I bother with anyone else?
$3 million.
Yeah, he's been buying that for a while, and it's just like, I just buying the dips. Yeah, Solving the Money Problem. It's good. It's a good, definitely a good YouTube channel. It's entertaining, and he calls people morons and points out the FUD, all that kind of jazz.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, he doesn't mince words.
I was gonna say, as far as the people, I'm not hard pressed to add third persons up on here, but like I know we have the ability to have like a total of 5 people. Just know that on Sunday, more than likely I will never have that happen. It would just be at the most one. Big old buddy Super High Man, he's cool as shit. Maybe my buddy Cotton Candy Man. Maybe who knows who will make their way up here on these no FOMO shows, but no FOMO is no fear of missing out. And this is something that me and Matty Watch pick up to do on Sundays, because Monday is a day that I like, and I understand that apparently people who are big into investing in the market and stuff like that also like Mondays. So I like Monday without even knowing. So
Yeah. Well, that's why Monday. That's kind of why I like the stock market, even though like all weekend I'm like jonesing. But like with crypto, it's just 24/7. You never stop watching. And
it gets me tired. I had to stop for a little bit, because especially when we've been taking the L in crypto, so it's like, all right, you know, I'm not looking at it anymore. I'm just buying dips, buying low shit because it's low right now. But
Right.
As far as looking at it like I used to, now I'm just kind of waiting for the day I look on Twitter and it's like Ethereum, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit, Ethereum's going back up.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna go back up.
Yeah.
Um,
I am basically anytime I spend any money, like right now it's all going to AMC and whatnot, but I'm loading up on Doge right now with my side money and the extra money I have. Just because when I think when it goes on to Coinbase, it's going, me and Bitcoin had a long conversation about this. We're like, yep, we're just going to buy Doge. We both hate it, but Elon's pumping it again. And we're gonna keep buying until the week before it goes on to Coinbase, and then right before it goes on, we're gonna sell it and get out of that. So
don't
that's
think don't think you're the only one doing research over here. And if I know you're doing research, I'm surprised you do what I did. I
All right.
that much. But I'm wondering how much you know about Cummings.
What is the yes, I do. I know what it is. Yes, come rocket, right. Yes. Well, Elon tweeted about that too.
I know, but like, hold on a second, yo. Like, I can't even believe this shit is called Cum Rocket, and I'm reading this shit. It's just like,
yep.
what the fuck is going on?
Oh, hey, that's a. There's gonna be a.
I'm not doing all that shit, bro. Like, I don't know how much you understand about the alternative coins.
Right.
But, like, I'm not doing that to get that. Like, I try to get the Shiba Inu. I'm pretty sure the Shiba Inu joint is over. But I'm not getting. You can't get cum rockets, and cum rocket is never cummies. Whatever the fuck you want to call it, shit is never coming to coin.
No, that one's not. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's not happening. But but New York, it's kind of challenging. Like I couldn't buy. I had to go to. I had to look at like 5 different wallets before I found Gemini where I could buy Dogecoin. Because New York, you can't buy a lot of cryptos in New York. Yeah, it sucks. Not that I cared at the beginning, but
somebody who's been in here and he follows us, I don't know if I'm familiar, so forgive me, bro. Got a message in the building that says Span Dan Bear. Wait, Span Ban there is.
No, I didn't tweet about that. Wait, are you serious? What did he tweet about? No, I didn't tweet.
He did tweet. He tweeted about the cum rocket, fam. He like put some water sign. And he put a rocket to the moon.
Yep.
And like everybody thought it had something to do with cum rocket. So I would not have said cum rocket ever in my life. Probably if I wasn't learning about Elon Musk and fucking crypto and the way things go. Apparently, people made a lot of bread.
Yeah.
Off that shit.
Well, you see, here's the thing. Like that's what I was like saying about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin gets so mad at Elon for tweeting about stuff, but if Elon didn't tweet about Doge, if Elon didn't do what he did with Bitcoin, like yes, it went down when he reversed, but it went up because like you wouldn't even know, like Dogecoin would be, if Elon Musk didn't exist, Dogecoin would still be at like 15 cents. Not even, you know? So he brought it. So yes, you don't like it if it goes down because of Elon, but the only reason it's up in the first place is because Elon was there. In some of these cases.
Are you doing more? Do you find yourself doing more research or getting more into this crypto shit, or less into it as far as you start reading?
I mean, a little bit more, but not much.
Like turned off, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, let's see, the thing, my thing with coins versus companies versus stocks is when I buy a stock, like I can buy, like I'm buying Tesla, even though it's going down, or it went down last week, right? But it's down from its high. It was at 880, I think, at its high. It's at 600 now. Because I know I can go and I can see what they're working on, and I know what's coming, and I know Tesla Insurance and Cybertruck and the Model Y and their manufacturer. I can look and yeah, I can research this stuff. With a coin, I mean, you can research the white pages to see, you know, what people is it. For me, coins, it's like investing like in like gold. It's based upon what people feel its value is, and I don't like investing in people because people are weird. companies, I know the numbers. I look at the balance sheet, I know their revenue, I know that like there's no for me that's it's like I don't gotta work like there's no reason for Dogecoin to be up. Like these meme stocks, this is what pisses off some investors because they're like GameStop should not be this, they get really upset about it. And there's some people who won't ever invest in these stocks because the companies are not. Now AMC is actually a better company, and they did some really smart moves. Like when the stock went up, they issued another 11 million shares at $50, so they made $500 million, and so that's impressive. That's fixing their company. But with coins, it's just like I still don't understand why. Like it seems like when I talk to Bitcoin, I'm like, what are you actually researching? And what they're researching, it seems like what these guys are researching is they're researching trends. Like the coins do this, and then they do that, and just researching trends is like stock for me. And again, this is just my opinion. It's like people who do technical analysis on stocks. Like you'll hear people like, oh, there's a support, here's the resistance, and here's where it goes, and there's a candle and blah blah blah, all the technical analysis. And I don't do I don't really even do that, other than every once in a while when I do some kind of short-term thing like what's going on with AMC. But I would rather be able to study a company and say, like I said, I was buying Tesla for 5 years and the stock wasn't going anywhere. It was between.
That's okay. But you weren't tripping. You knew, and anybody else that was doing it with you in that time period knows that you know now that this thing it seems to be about to be like the Apple of EV.
Yeah. Well, cars in general, but yeah. Oh, that's another thing. They got it's a weird word. It's a they just got partnered with a company that's putting a teraflop of energy of capacity. Hold on. Because the new Teslas are going to have screens in the front and a screen for the back that everyone can play video games. Because I'm telling you, the full self, like when I'm doing this AMC thing, June 29th, I'm completely out and all my money is back into Tesla. Because I think real soon, like this year, they're going to announce that the full self-driving is complete. And if they do that, that stock is going to jump a bunch, like back maybe up to 1,000. Yeah, it's a teraflop. Teraflop of storage or GPU performance or whatever it is. Floating points
So
up.
we've moved past gigas and terabytes. It's not even a byte now. It's a flop.
Yeah. FLOP stands for floating point operations per second. So floating point operations per second encompasses mathematical reliable number systems. There you go. So
A zettabyte is a measure of storage capacity from 1,000 to 7,000. 1 zettabyte is equal to 1,000 exabytes. 1 billion terabytes is 1 trillion gigabytes. All right, so a terabyte. Wait. Oh, yeah, it's a lot. They said a billion terabytes or 1 trillion gigabytes. I never knew this was there. Wow.
So I'm thinking bytes are about storage, but teraflop is about the capacity of the processor. Yeah. If anybody's smarter than me about this, please leave a message. But I just saw that they got this teraflop in there because these are going to be in there, so you can do. I mean, you you're going to be playing like virtual realities type games while you're driving.
Don't know if we need to be doing this, guys, but it's sick that we're gonna.
Well, you won't. Yeah, I mean, you won't be driving. Like that's the point. Like that. So this is why I think full self driving is coming, because they're like when you look at you said you were on the Tesla website a minute ago. If you look at the so if you look at the Model S, let's see, where's the picture of it? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to look at it. Well, I'm trying to see where. Look at the menu.
Yeah.
Trade and use and existing. Yeah, well, trying to find where they have the pictures of Model S, but all you see is the screen. That's all they're showing you. Like they show you The Witcher. I guess that's a game. I don't play a lot of games, so. But they're showing you the game in the front. They're showing you the game in the back, and they're talking about how you can play games from any seat in the car, which means the driver's seat. So I think that these announcements are coming out because they're like, this is soon to be released, is this autopilot. Fully functional, full self-driving.
Enough power, fast charger, tablet, and laptop. 22 speakers. God, that many speakers, and I never even heard them.
Oh, are you looking at the S?
Yeah.
So if you click on just Model S at the top, and it has so you're already scrolled down, but you see how many times they're showing. Like first, you see the steering wheel, the yoke.
Yeah, it looks like a. I don't know what it looks like. It looks like a.
But look how many times they're showing you like the screens.
They really are, because it's like, oh, I guess they're emphasizing that the screens are about to be able to do some else.
Yeah.
Redesign second row. Oh, screen right there. Game from anywhere. Use up to 10 teraflops of processing power enables car gaming on par with. Wow, this is so unnecessary, but it's so cool. Wireless control. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even trying to get my son, like, when I get my bag and I got my Tesla and shit like that, he's like, Daddy, you know I can play my PlayStation 9 on this motherfucker. I'm like, I don't know what fuck, nigga. Like, nah, this ain't going down. Nah, making a mess of my shit. Nah, it's kind of dope.
I just saw the speakers, 23 speakers. Yeah.
That's sick.
Well, this yoke, I don't think that you can get it with this particular one or with the regular steering wheel, but they're testing the yoke out for the Roadster, because the Roadster is going to be able to hover. Yeah, it's getting cold something rockets on it. Hold on. I don't know the terminology, so. Well, they haven't even updated in a while. But so it's literally going to, and when they say, I was like, hover, like what's hovering? Like a couple inches? They're like, nope, like 5 feet off the ground. Yep. That's why it's got a yoke.
5 feet? Some people aren't even that tall.
I know.
Come on, man.
All right. You'll see.
Wow, we're flying. We're literally flying.
Yeah, well, that's what it does. I mean, it literally, it's going to be doing the Model S right now. Just broke the. Remember we talked about this? We were talking about how like it broke the the record as the fastest production car. We were talking about that like 2 weeks ago. So this, and that's a 4-door sedan, big car. Like the Roadster is going to be like a 2-person car with this rocket package that you can get.
I need a demonstration. I need to see this shit. 5 feet hovering. What?
Actually, you know what? Let me see. Hold on, I'll pull it up for you. I mean, the Roadster is not something that it's not a priority, so it's probably not going to be out for another like 3 or 4 years because they're trying to do all the other stuff first. But Tesla.
Yep. We're just sitting here talking shit because stocks and all that good stuff. So, or you see a lot of like lingo that I'm learning when it comes to stuff. So we might want to run it back and like talk Tesla with it too. So we were here just looking at amazing.
In 2017, Elon Musk revealed that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. There's a rendition. Oh, and then Jay Leno just did a piece on. The rocket thrusters and the Roadster as well. This is not it. Anyway, yeah, you know, Jay Leno does all the stuff with the cars. He's got his show, Leno's Garage.
The much anticipated.
Oh yeah, he's a big car guy. He's had a show on for since he left late night. He's a show called Leno's Garage. He just takes people. He has all these crazy cars that he drives around in.
A couple things that Maddie wanted to know besides big
FUV. Oh, did you look those up? Did you check that out?
No, let me look that up.
Yeah, check it out real quick.
Refreshing y'all's mind covered on here. To the cum rocket also. You were talking about cum rocket.
We're multi Arcimoto.com. ARCIMOTO.
Ultra efficient electricity. Oh yeah, so they are advertising me where I live. You know that they're saying that Domino's delivering pizza did say something about this.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cap. I thought this was just like a fucking commercial that is not real. Like this is not happening. I've never seen that. And to this day, I've never seen Domino's delivered one. But I don't know if it's going on the TV view, but you're already having commercials where they're saying your food can be with these things.
Oh, cool. That's good to know. Well, that's
with nobody in it.
Yeah, these are, well, the thing is, these are not, they're just running up production. I mean, this company's new. They had an issue, they got really hurt by COVID because they couldn't get supplies and they couldn't set up their production, you know, they were just setting up their production facilities all last year. And so they were really held back. And, but now they're, that's what they're working. That's the big thing I want to see about the next couple of months.
My mind is so sinister. That's so immature at all. But I'm just wondering, like, companies are really thinking like they're gonna cut off prices of as far as like employees and just buy a whole bunch of EVs. Companies like Domino's, Papa John's, whatever. Even like alcohol will eventually get into that. I'm sure too. They're gonna be like, okay, bam. If you can deliver alcohol and whatever, I don't know if is that nationwide where you can't deliver alcohol. Some states you can.
I don't know. I don't know.
Can they deliver alcohol in New York?
I've never seen it.
Like, do you have alcohol? Yeah, right. So it's not really that common. But like, anyways, all I'm trying to say is I wonder if these companies or not companies, but people who are thinking about investing in getting an EV to like deliver goods or thinking about robbery. Because when you start taking people out of the situation, like what if people start just breaking into your fucking electric shit and stealing the goods?
This is like whatchamacallit though, like Teslas have Sentry mode on them. So I mean, you literally, I guess you have to cover your face, cover everything, and not not be seen any way, shape, or form, because they got video everywhere on it. So I guess if you really want to, I mean, if you really want to try to,
best idea to rob the EV.
right,
but I'm wondering,
for some pizza,
I definitely see like cutting people.
because it's not going to be cash. You're not going to pay cash for this stuff. There's not going to be like cash in the machine, in the thing. It's just the pizza or the, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to knock over an FUV vehicle for 2 bottles of alcohol?
I just wonder how far it's going to go, like what cannabis industry get this shit to. Because eventually, if this EV stuff goes as good as I feel like it's going to go quickly, right? It'll spread into lots of different realms of industries, right? But not just the EV system, just like AI, right? And like not needing a person to actually do the work.
Right. Well,
I know that's where we're going. I've seen shit that they already have, and we're gonna end the show on this one, but I know I bet you Maddie might have seen it. But I've seen shit where they already have like a headband type technology in China where you can put it on your head and think, and literally think, and the thoughts that you think are like electronically communicated through this joint, and it would make like a Bluetooth device across the room do what you were thinking for it to do. So
we got Neuralink coming. That's also coming too, with the chips.
Yeah, man, that's another episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that again.
Shout out to F&G in the building, Leonard the guy, Mon Holmes, he's been here since the beginning. Appreciate you, Quagmire, Foxy Lady, my homie, Van, there is Shan, all the people, Conquering Queen, anybody else that I didn't mention, man. If you're swinging through, hope you follow Maddie One. And subscribe for that bigger vibe later on, man. I've been like really elaborated on it because the subscription stuff kind of like don't get it twisted. Subscription right now means that you're like more likely for me to try to like etch you in and work with you. Because I do have a lot of people DMing me. I do have a lot of people trying to get into my time, which is valuable. So please subscribe. I do appreciate that priority bank of like, let me try to work with you. Or let me put you on with Maddie or whatever it may be. It may be some hip hop shit. You want some beats, you want some music, you want some sounds, you want some kicks, and some drums. Whatever it may be, man, you give it a little more consideration. I don't know about you, Maddie. My DM has been popping ever since I got on stereo. I like it, but it's time now to make it the right way.
Yeah, nobody cares about me.
Too. Nobody cares about you.
Not yet.
You guys start fighting
this AMC, the AMC thing has been the most I've gotten now. I've gotten a bunch of that because I made that prediction on Monday. So that
a little bit of an overstatement, not popping like to the point where I'm like, oh my god, but it is definitely like when it is, do I have DMs from people where they're like asking things? I'm like, all right, yeah, but like, what's up with the subscription, fam?
Right. Right. It's subscribers only. No, I'm planning on making I still have my website, LMattyWash.com. I'm planning on making that a subscription only website, and then reimbursing people who subscribe to me on stereo. Like if it's $5, that'll come off it. It'll probably be like $25 for my website. And I'm gonna have like a course, and we're gonna do the cash flow game. We're gonna have that. We're gonna have Friday night, on Discord. We're gonna do just put aside time to follow the budgets and do your budgeting. And that's I got a bunch of things put together for. I want to try to build a little bit of community, the wise ones, I'm calling it. So
I like that.
yeah, so that's what we're working on. I'll let you know.
That a little bit later. If y'all don't remember, get your AMC. You don't have to drop it all in at once, but get it before it's
Yep. Tomorrow. Get in while it's good. Lots of pre-markets. All right, bro.
All right,
Thanks for the time.
Yep.
All right, talk to you later.